These haunted, abandoned mines have more than just history behind them. Many paranormal investigators say they're still haunted to this day. Horton Mine in Nevada. Now imagine being 900 feet below ground, surrounded by rocks so black it swallows your flashlight's beam, water dripping from the ceiling, and rusted chains swinging gently as if pushed by invisible hands. This is Horton Mine in Nevada, long abandoned, with tunnels originally built to transport ore from the Victorian mine. Now, the explorer venturing into these tunnels first noticed the water-slicked walls reflecting his faint light. Every step echoed, magnifying the slightest sound, then a chain above him swayed. He froze. There was no wind, no visible cause, only the creaking metal. Moments later, a low whisper rolled through the tunnel saying, "Go now." His heart racing, he spun around only to find the tunnel completely empty. Horton Mine is notoriously dangerous. Many parts of the floor are unstable. Sudden drops are hidden by darkness. Experts say abandoned mines can amplify sounds due to their narrow construction. But multiple explorers repeat hearing clear human-like voices where no one is present. One group even recorded faint clanging as though an old conveyor system had mysteriously sprung to life. What makes Horton Mine terrifying isn't just the dark, unstable tunnels, it's the history. Miners lived and passed away here, often in grueling conditions, and some never left the shafts alive. Could their spirits remain? I mean, witnesses swear the answer is yes. The combination of visual, isolation, eerie acoustics, and the weight of history create a very truly chilling experience. Clearwell Caves in England. Now, the Clearwell Caves in Gloucestershire, England aren't just picturesque old mines, they're steeped in ghost stories. Miners worked these tunnels for centuries, extracting iron ore, and locals say some never left in spirit. One famous account comes from a 1970s film crew. Although no footage exists, many accounts from the crew remain the same. Legend has it that while filming underground, a sudden figure appeared, a miner in old suit-stained clothes, pointing them to a hidden tunnel that offered a safe route. When they turned to thank him, he had vanished. Locals call him the Old Man. The claim has been, he's been seen guiding lost visitors ever since. Now, visitors often report metal clanging, footsteps where no one is visible, and lights flickering inexplicably. Now, the reddish iron ore casts a red light glow, making shadows appear alive. The tunnels are narrow, kind of labyrinth-like, and many haven't actually been used for decades, which amplifies even the slightest noise into a terrifying echo. Explorers also recount sudden cold spots, like a human presence kind of brushing past them and objects slightly moved from their original position. It's a mind that feels alive yet invisible. Perhaps it's the cumulative memory of, centuries of toil, loss, and demise embedded in the walls. I personally would not want to explore this one, but let me know if you would. The Argonaut Mine in California. Now, Argonaut Mine in Jackson, California is infamous for its 1922 disaster, when a fire trapped 47 miners more than 4,600 feet underground. Today, it's actually considered one of the most haunted sites in the American West. Paranormal teams report recording faint whispers and knocks during exploration. Some claim to have captured voices pleading for help, impossibly distant, yet clear enough to send chills down your spine. The tunnels remain mostly sealed and dangerous, but adventurous explorers risk entry for just a glimpse of the eerie silence. The mine's history is honestly pretty brutal. The 1922 fire was devastating. Miners were trapped, some passing away completely alone, cut off from help. The trauma from that disaster seems to linger all the time later. Now, many visitors say that, descending into Argonaut feels like stepping into a temporal echo. The past is present but intangible, a whisper kind of in the dark. Now, some investigators claim that unexplained shadows and temperature drops are commonplace and happen quite frequently. Cameras pick up anomalies in the air like streaks of light or figures in peripheral vision that vanish when looked at directly. The combination of historical tragedy, claustrophobic shafts, and documented EVP activity makes Argonaut Mine a prime example of a haunted abandoned mine, and one, again, that I'll never step foot in. Nova Scotia's coal mine in Cape Breton. Now, the abandoned coal mines of Cape Breton, Nova Scotia are some of the most unnerving underground locations in North America. In the early 1900s, coal was mined here under grueling conditions. The mines eventually closed, leaving behind deserted tunnels, timbers, and machinery, but also legends of lingering miners. Paranormal investigators exploring the mines report hearing pickaxes striking coal where no one is actually present. Shadowy figures are seen fleetingly in the distance, only to vanish, of course, when approached, and the darkness is absolute. Water drips from ceilings, echoing down corridors, and old timbers groan under the weight of years. These mines were not only dangerous for those who worked there, they were isolating and stifling. I mean, the combination of physical danger and psychological stress created an environment where fear could linger for long after the mines were closed. Modern explorers feel that same tension as they descend into the coalfield tunnels. Lights flickering, senses heightened, hearts pounding. It's really not a place you want to visit if you're easily triggered with anxiety. Phoenix Gold Mine in Idaho Springs, Colorado. Now, deep in the Colorado Rockies, the Phoenix Gold Mine sits carved into the side of Trail Creek Canyon, just outside the old mining town of Idaho Springs. Now, once booming during the Colorado Gold Rush of the 1880s, this mine eventually shut down, leaving behind tunnels, rusted carts, and a history steeped in tragedy. But you know what makes it infamous today isn't its gold, it's the spirits said to still roam its dark veins. Locals say the Phoenix mine has never really gone quiet. Even after the drills stopped, strange sounds continued echoing through the tunnels. When the site reopened as an actual tour location, guides began reporting eerie encounters like cold spots that appeared suddenly. The most chilling reports come from paranormal investigators who've actually spent the night inside. Cameras have captured orbs moving deliberately like they're kind of following someone. One investigator claims her flashlight turned off on command after a voice told her to leave. Another caught an EVP of a woman humming, eerily clear in the glory hole section of the mine, now an area where miners once actually passed away in a collapse over a century ago. What makes the Phoenix Gold Mine especially unnerving is that it's partially open to the public still. That means ordinary visitors, families, tourists, even skeptics have come out shaken, by what they've seen. Some report feeling sudden nausea or lightheadedness just before hearing a whisper or seeing a shadow. Now, the mine's tragic past feeds, the haunting. During its early years, several miners passed away from cave-ins and gas exposure. Legends say a miner named Tom, crushed by falling rocks, still haunts the entrance, calling out to warn others. Now, investigators from multiple ghost hunting shows have actually filmed inside the Phoenix mine. During one session, equipment recorded spikes in electromagnetic energy just as a voice said, "Still here." In another, a motion sensor went off repeatedly even though the tunnel was empty. After researching these mines, one theme is crystal clear to me. Abandoned mines hold more than rock and rust. Darkness, isolation, water, metal, and the trauma of, demise create environments where the boundary between natural and supernatural blurs. Exploring these mines is more than a physical challenge, it's a psychological journey. When cameras venture where humans rarely go, they capture not just shadows and sound, but a lingering, almost tangible sense of fear. Well, which mine would you explore if you could? Let me know. I'm your host, Ashley. I'll see you next time. Some footage is easy to explain, dust, shadows, camera glitches, but then there's the kind that makes even the bravest investigators run screaming. The kind of footage that police departments hide, that ghost hunters swear they'll never go back to, that makes your body run cold just looking at it. Last time we went inside some of the most terrifying haunted locations on the planet. We saw shapes that shouldn't exist, screams that shouldn't echo, and shadows that moved on their own. But the world is full of places even darker, even stranger, and even more hostile. Now I'm going deeper. I'm uncovering haunted locations with footage that will make you question reality itself, places where ghosts aren't just watching, they're waiting. The Monte Cristo Homestead, this is in New South Wales, Australia. Australia has its fair share of haunted spots, of course, old asylums, decaying theaters, battlefields, but nothing compares to the Monte Cristo Homestead. Now, locals call it the house that breathes hate, basically, and the footage from inside proves that description is an exaggeration. Built in 1885 on a hill